Good evening. We are in week 3 now of BMGT 364 of the UMUC class. And this week's video is going to focus on the group task. It's due in week 7, but the groups should be working together now. You should be in your Web Tyco area, and you should be discussing, getting to know your team members, discussing the topics with them, and getting yourselves together in terms of what it is you want to collectively do, how you want to approach this project. Even though it's not due until week 7, the reality is it is week 3, and we are midway through week 3 at this point. And so week 7 will come very quickly. It's important now that you all come together and have your initial discussions, and those discussions certainly can be asynchronously, done over the Web Tyco pages. You can also choose to do some type of synchronous chat. So there are definitely options that I ask that you explore and set up and determine how you want to communicate with each other now, and focus on what each person's going to be doing on the project. So let's take a few minutes. If you go to your syllabus, I believe it's in the project area, you'll find an assignment that is due in week 7, and it is called the group task, performance measure critique, and it's going to be a PowerPoint presentation. So I want to spend some time talking about the PowerPoint presentation and what the expectation. So you've been divided into a study group. Now the syllabus says between 4 and 5 students. However, this class was actually a fairly large size, so groups are between 5 and 6 right now. But you are to act as a self-managed team. What that means is you need to determine your timetable, your task list, how you're going to communicate, the goals that you have, what you'll do if someone's not participating. And while we're on that subject, let me take a moment to explain. I believe that folks have to participate fully in the project across the board. Now, that does not mean everyone is doing the exact same thing, but everyone should be actively involved in working on this project, because everyone's going to receive the same grade. Now, if a student fails to contribute to the project, then that student will earn a 0 for the PowerPoint presentation. But it is important that you all let me know. I'm not always going to know exactly what each member of the team is doing, depending on how you're communicating. So it's important to communicate with me and let me know immediately if you have a member of your group that's not participating, that's not following through. You should reach out to me. Do not wait until week 7 to raise your hand and say that there is someone who hasn't participated for the last 4 weeks. It's important to come together now. So this is what the expectation is. The first part of the presentation really requires you to look at the 4 different types of performance measures, and there are 4, so let me highlight each one separately. First, you have human resource measures. These measures can be performance evaluations, productivity reports, turnover, absenteeism, employee satisfaction surveys. These are examples. If you find that there's another one you want to use, that's fine. Financial measures are things such as profit and loss, return on investment, profit margin, change in the level of sales, budget comparisons, and analysis. Then you have market position measures. Those are things such as market share, the size of the company when compared to competitors, global distribution, and sales measures. And finally, we have product service measures. And these are things such as customer satisfaction surveys, the rate of customer returns, product rate of failure, number of clients served. What you are expected to do as a team is that you're going to look at each of these categories: human resource measures, financial measures, market position measures, product service measures. And as a team, you need to select 2 measures within each type. Now, you don't have to determine or use the measures, for example, that I have listed here for human resource. If you want to use another measure, as long as it is a human resource measurement, you certainly can do that. But you must identify 2 under human resource, 2 under financial measures, 2 under market position, and 2 under product service. You're going to identify each of those, and here's what you need to do for each of those measurements that you are selecting. You need to explain clearly what the measure is, evaluate and explain what is the usefulness and the importance of the measure, and then discuss what might an organization do from an action perspective. What actions might an organization take in light of the outcomes of the measure? Let me give you an example because you'll have a total of 8 measures, 2 for each type. But let's use an example. For example, let's say that under human resource measures, we are talking about performance evaluations. Then you would identify and explain what a performance evaluation is, why it's useful, and the importance of that measurement to any organization. And then what you'll do is spend some time talking about the potential actions an organization could consider in light of the outcome of a measure. In the case of a performance measurement or performance evaluation, you may say that a negative performance evaluation would mean that as an organization, you may need to look at training your people to make sure that they understand what is expected of them and what they should be doing. So this part 1 is the actual PowerPoint presentation. Now, let me clarify that you'll have 8 measures. However, the entire PowerPoint presentation can be no longer than 12 to 15 pages, and that includes your title slide and a reference section. And I expect that you'll have a reference section for this PowerPoint because, after all, you are defining the various measurements under human resource, financial measures, market position, and product service. So you'll need to define those, and that's going to require that you use APA text formatting in order to reference within the body of the presentation. So the total should be no more than 12 to 15. You must use your textbook. That is a required reference, and you must use at least 2 academic or highly respected publications. And again, what I mean by highly respected publications are you certainly could use Newsweek. You certainly could use some type of journal, business journal. But what you can't use are wikis. You can't go out to the ask.com and say that that is a reference. That's not acceptable. Now, once you all have completed this PowerPoint presentation as a team, each of you will submit the exact same PowerPoint presentation in your assignment folder. And you're probably wondering, why is that? Why can't one person do it? It is because I want to make sure, we want to be sure that everyone actively participated. One way to make sure of that is to make sure that everyone submits the PowerPoint presentation. Because after all, who is going to share a PowerPoint presentation or assignment with someone who didn't participate? So it's important for each person to do it. Now that is the group part of this that is due in week 7, at the end of week 7. Then each of you has an individual part to do, and that is the group task peer evaluation. If you fail to contribute to the project, again, you will earn a 0. But this peer evaluation allows you to determine the grade, a portion of the grade. It's a small portion, it's 5%. But it evaluates the participation of each member of the team. And it allows you to understand or to be able to share with me what you believe your peers did. So this is what you'll do. You will take this form that can be found in the syllabus in WebTyco. So the best way to do it is to just kind of highlight it, and then you can cut and you can copy it into another document. And once you do that, then what you'll do is you will not grade yourself. So your name will go here. So for example, I would put in my name if it's Jane Doe, and then you would put in your peer's name here. So if Xavier is on your team, Jean is on your team, Joe is on your team, Sylvia is on your team, and let's say Peter. So those are the members of your team. You'll put in each of their names. If you need, you shouldn't need an additional space because I believe the maximum I have are 6 here. So this should fit this. And then you are going to grade that person. and you're going to use this grading scale right here on the left hand side under your name. You're not grading yourself, you're grading everyone else. So if Xavier didn't really participate in the discussions and meetings, he only came to one or two of our discussions, I'm going to give him a 2. Because he didn't participate much, I can only give him out of 10 points 2 in terms of keeping us focused. In terms of contributing ideas, not so much. Out of 10 points, maybe I give him 5. He didn't respond very much. When he did, it was late, but I'm going to give him 5. He was available for group meetings most of the time, so I'll give him 10 here. I think you get the idea. And let's say Jean was very active, participated in everything. I may actually give her a 10 across the board on helping us stay focused, on being able to participate, contributing useful ideas. And though I did notice that she didn't respond to all the emails in a very timely fashion, so maybe I give her 12 points. This is what you'll be doing. So want to make sure that you're focused here on this and that you understand what needs to be done. The due date for this assignment, actually, it is due on Sunday, May 5th, no later than midnight. So I wanted to spend this time, I know I ran over my 10 minutes, but I wanted to spend this time because I think it's really important for you all to understand what needed to be done for the group project. Next week, I will take a step back and I will focus more on the assignment that will be due in week 5. That's the leadership scenario. That's an individual assignment. It's important that you now take some time in this week to read the leadership motivation case. It's right here in your syllabus. So for this week, I'd say go ahead and read the leadership motivation case. That's what you want to do individually. It'll be due in week 5. And then make sure that you understand and have reviewed everything you need for the group task. As always, if you have any questions, you all know how to reach me via web tyco, via private message, email, or text. You have all that information in the syllabus. So that's it for this week. Look forward for next week's video. Thanks so much. Have a good week.